I have been an international worker in Venezuela for over 30 years, about 28 years with the Christian Missionary Alliance. Well, I had a call to become a missionary when I was about 11 years of age in a missionary conference at a Alliance Church in Canada when my parents had come back from Cuba. I'd been born in Cuba and grew up in a missionary family, but God's call was to me personally at the age of 11, and I just felt that God wanted me to do that. And over the years of studying down in Miami, Florida, where my parents were working in the Bible college, I just felt that God wanted me to continue pursuing that. And when the door opened for Venezuela, that's where I said I would go, and that's where I've been working. When I first went to Venezuela and with the Alliance in 1981, I was involved in church planting. I was involved in actually 3 different church starts, one in the city of Valencia and 2 in the capital city of Caracas. And then in the last term and a half, about 3 years, I was involved in our Venezuela Bible Institute, where we're training leaders and pastors of our 9 Alliance churches there in the country. People in Venezuela are not very religious. There's an official state religion, but the people do not necessarily practice that religion. So the evangelical church has been working there in the country for many, many years. The Alliance hasn't been there that long. But there's, as in most parts of the world now, there's a general interest in anything spiritual, but that leads many of them into many areas of spirituality that are not biblical. And so the churches there have an opportunity to bring the truth of what really spirituality should look like through sharing Jesus Christ and His Word with them. There's one young mom in the 3rd church plant I was involved in Caracas who came to the church when she was going through a real difficult time in her marriage. In fact, separated from her husband when her child was only about 2 years of age. And she came to the Lord because somebody in the church, our new church, had invited her to come. And so I started discipling her. And when 4 or 5 weeks or 2 months had gone by, she kind of lost interest in going to church and was just meeting with me once in a while, but then dropped out altogether. She kind of, I think, gave God a chance, and when God didn't heal her marriage right away, she was a little bit disappointed. And that was back in like 1998, 99. And it wasn't until 2004 that the Lord spoke to her again, and her boy was already, you know, a young adolescent, and so she came back to the church and decided that, yeah, this was what she was really missing in her life. And that woman has been transformed by the Lord since that time. She finally decided to get baptized. And not only did she get baptized, but after going through a purpose-driven life class with me, she was challenged to get involved in the church, and actually became very active, and is to this day active in helping in women's ministry in that church. Right now, the church in Venezuela is going through a difficult time because the churches are, there's not very many of them, and there are not a lot of people to send out to plant other churches. So I would think that the biggest request right now for the church in Venezuela is that God would give them a vision for planting daughter churches in the country. And the leaders, one exciting thing that's happening in the church is that they have taken on the Venezuelan Bible Institute after all of the missionaries left this year, and it's a big challenge for them. But pray that God would use the Bible Institute and bring people into it that would have a vision to plant churches, alliance churches in the country, which is still very needy. Caracas is still a very needy city of over 6 million people, with just a little bit over 1% evangelical Christians. I think that, first of all, whoever wants to become involved as an international worker needs to be firmly convinced that people without Christ are headed to hell. And I think that is being lost a lot in a lot of people in the culture that we live in. It's like, well, all roads lead to God, and that's even infiltrating into our evangelical churches in Canada. So I think that's the first thing that needs to be there, a real conviction that people without Christ are going to hell. And then to have a definite call from the Lord to be involved in a cross-cultural situation. A good way to work, to try that out is become involved cross-culturally right here in Canada. There's many opportunities for that. And see if God awakens that kind of a passion for cross-cultural ministry by witnessing and working with people who have come to Canada from other parts of the world. And maybe that really will awaken a desire to take that to other parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.